we're all ready to start the formal part of the afternoon, if we can call it formal. First of all, family and friends, welcome on behalf of Mo and the campaign team. My name is Chuck McCann, and I'm Mo's campaign manager, and I'm honored and privileged to be his campaign manager. I'm a retired member of the Edmonton Police Service, superintendent, and Mo and I have been colleagues over a number of years. And as I said, we really like to thank everybody for coming. We have two very special guests. The program won't be too long, but first of all, I would like to introduce another colleague of mine, Ed McFarland. Now, Ed is a retired superintendent as well. He looks a lot younger and better looking than me, but Ed's here once again. He was a longtime colleague of Mo's, and Ed has graciously advised that he has a few words on behalf of Mo. And Ed, would you come up, please?
Well, you know, I gotta say, I look around the room right now, and I was saying to Diane, my partner, when we were coming in, with the number of people that are in the room right now, I think Mo is going to win this election in a slam dunk. Hello, it's so awesome to see the level of support in the room, so thank you very much. So, good afternoon. I have some speaking notes here in front of me, and I'll be about an hour or so, so if you need to go up for seconds, go ahead. Anyways, I'm kidding. As Chuck was saying, I'm a retired police officer. I spent 36 years in that profession, 18 of which was as a police superintendent. For a significant part of that career, I got to work with Mohinder Banga. We all call him Mo, and he asked me to come up here today and say some nice things about him. Well, I guess I'm done. Just kidding again. So Mo and I were talking the other day, and I said to him, I said, gosh, Mo, there are a lot of candidates running in this by-election in Ward 12. He said, yes, there are, but the cream will rise to the top. I said, wouldn't it be more apropos to say chocolate milk? I'm just kidding, folks. Of course I'm teasing. Knowing Mo the way I do, there is a deep and abiding respect that we all had as police officers for him. But more on that in a moment. Just a bit of background on Mo that helps us understand who he is as a man and his family values. Mo came from India in 1977, and it was that year he married his wife Pinder. They've been married these past 38 years. And in that time, I've raised 3 children, all educated and all gainfully employed. In turn, those children now have 5 kids, so 5 grandchildren for Mo and Pinder. Mo has a bachelor's degree in engineering from India and a master's degree in physics from the University of Alberta. I'm told there are only 3 to 4 graduates of this nature each year. Mo has lived in the community of Mill Woods since 1978. Mo has been a dedicated police officer for 24 years, and 15 years of that time has been protecting and serving the citizens of Mill Woods, including his current detective role at Southeast Station now. So, although Mo has embarked on the noble cause of being a police officer for much of his adult life, he has given back to the community in other ways outside of the obvious ones in policing. For example, Mo was taught a crime prevention, education, and awareness program to grade 5 and grade 6 students for these past 16 years. That represents 48 classes. The program is called DARE, and it stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Simply put, it helps young children understand the dangers of drugs and gives them coping strategies to say no. to those that would try to influence them. You have to know that Mo won distinction for his work and his dedication, because you know, he did this training for 5 and 6 students, grade 5 and 6 students, on his own time often. So outside of his regular working hours, because that's how dedicated he was. And he was recognized in 2013 against all of his peers during that year as the DARE Officer of the Year. So that's a pretty impressive achievement, Mo. You know, another impressive achievement of Mo's, and again, he never talked about it much to me at work or to his other colleagues at work, but he's coached young kids in soccer in the Millwoods community for the past 32 years. And that's a couple teams per year. And I would say to the folks in the room today that I'm sure that the candidates are great candidates, but nobody is going to match Mo's record in terms of his dedication to the community. So Mo has invested in his community of Millwoods in countless ways over 3+ decades. Clearly now, with this passion he has for community, he wishes to take the next step and a different kind of a journey to make a difference. Mo has always cared about his community, and he definitely has a vision to making this community of Millwoods be an even better community in the future. But we all need to get behind him and support him as he runs in this election. We all in this room, in our ways, we need to do that. We need to go out there. We need to believe in Mo. We need to go out there and we need to convince other people that Mo is the only choice. So again, as I said before, I'm sure there's other fine candidates running this election, but the one that stands the best chance of making the greatest difference is Mohinder Banga. So folks, you need to know, I have the utmost confidence in him because in working with him all these years as a police officer, I have seen firsthand the strength of his convictions, his unimpeachable ethics, and the value he places on serving and protecting citizens of Millwoods. He just wants a chance now to serve in a different way. We need to help him, as Mo definitely deserves that chance. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ed. Not surprising, the words were very eloquent and certainly just adds to what Mo Banga brings to not only Ward 12, but the city of Edmonton. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce another very close friend of Mo's, and he's graciously volunteered to welcome Mo, and Rocky Josen, sorry. Rocky, come on up.
Don't worry, Chuck, you're not the first one that's made that mistake. So first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody here. Thank you very much for coming out this afternoon. I think Ed copied a little bit of my speech, so there might be some overlap here, so I apologize for that. My name is Rocky Josen, and I have the privilege today of introducing our main speaker, Mohinder Banga, who most of us know simply as Mo. I want to start by giving you a brief history. I'll try not to overlap too much here. Mo's lived in this area, Ward 12, for over 35 years. He came to Canada in 1977, Edmonton shortly later, and although he had a master's degree in physics, Canada did not accept that here. So he decided he had to support his family. He worked in labor for a few years, worked as a journeyman welder for a few years, and then when his finances allowed, he decided that he would go back to school and further his education. So he started his Canadian education at NAIT Polytechnic, and he took classes between and after work, between his shifts, after his shifts. That's how dedicated he was to getting this done. After receiving his diploma from NAIT, he decided he wanted to go even further, and he got admission into the coveted engineering physics program at the University of Alberta. Now, I'm a graduate of engineering at the University of Alberta as well, and I know that engineering physics is the most challenging program in engineering. And at my time, they accepted out of 300 engineers that applied every year, they accepted only 10 into engineering physics. So you can appreciate that at most time, I think that number was 3 or 4 out of all the applicants. So you can appreciate that that program only took the best and the brightest of students. Nonetheless, Mo completed his engineering physics degree in 1991, all the while balancing work, school, and a young family with 3 children. He was able to find work at a respected engineering firm, but soon he realized he wanted something more. Now, if you guys know Mo, I'm sure everyone in this room knows who Mo is. He's not the type of personality to sit behind a desk and crunch numbers all day. He's a guy who needs to get out, meet people, shake hands, interact, and actually make a difference in the lives of his fellow citizens. So it's at that time that Mo made a very difficult decision. He followed his heart and he joined the Edmonton Police Service as a patrol constable. He was rewarded for the hard work. In 2006, he was promoted to sergeant, and a few years later, he was again promoted to detective, a position which he still holds at the Millwoods Edmonton Police Station, right here in Ward 12. Apart from his professional life, many people know Mo from the world of sports and community involvement. As most of you know, Mo has always been a big part of the soccer community in Edmonton, from founding the Punjab United Soccer Club in 1979, coaching minor soccer to kids for over 32 years, and serving as a director for 4 terms on the Edmonton District Soccer Association. Mo was always one of the main sports personalities in Millwoods, especially for people of my generation. But Mo's not just about sports. He's also dedicated to helping with causes to better and advance the community. As Ed alluded to, Mo dedicated his own time, I think about 15 years actually, teaching kids in schools about the dangers of alcohol and drugs. Currently, Mo is the Vice President of PUSHA, the Punjab United Sports and Heritage Association, an organization of which he was president since its inception in 2009 up to last year. As president, Mo oversaw the concept, the design, the construction, and now finally the operation of the PUSHA sports fields at the Iverdon Sports Park. During that whole process as president, Mo had a lot of interaction, had to coordinate with all levels of government, civil, provincial, and federal. Now, that's the written part. I think everyone would agree Mo has a pretty impressive resume. But I'm not here to talk about his resume. That's not why I agreed to introduce him. I agreed to introduce Mo because I believe in who he is as a person. I met Mo when I was a young kid, maybe 10 or 12 years old, and I was just eager to play soccer. But as I grew up with Mo, I learned more and more about him, the type of person he is. And if nothing else, I can say that Mo is a straight shooter. He'll tell you how it is, he'll tell you to your face, he won't pull any punches, and he's one of the most honest people I know. Now, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but that's exactly the type of people we need at City Hall for Ward 12. Mo is honest, dependable, hardworking, and a natural-born leader. Above all, he's a dedicated family man with 3 children and 5 grandchildren. He has my full respect, and I'm very proud to call him my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce to you the next City Councillor for Ward 12, Mo Banga.
Thank you, Rocky, Ed, Chuck. You know, you guys built me up so much. I thought I was going to start crying, but this is not the time to cry. Again, Rocky and I and Chuck and Ed, we've been colleagues. We've been on the sports field together, and you know, most importantly, we shared some laughs and we also shared some sorrows among each other, and that you could never find in anywhere else. Anyway, folks, everybody knows now that my name is Mo Banga. People call me Mo. And dear friends, my sincere thank you to all of you for sharing your valuable time with me today, and my team. My team is more important. That today we are together to launch a campaign that will put your strong voice in the City Council. It is almost overwhelming for me, and at the same time gratifying to stand before you today. To be touched by your encouragement, your support, and importantly for me, most importantly for me, your belief in me to represent you. Friends, on Monday, February 22nd, the people of Ward 12 in Edmonton will be asked to elect a new councillor to represent them in the City Council. You will place great trust, and you also will have very high expectations of your elected councillor, that he or she can not only carry your voice, but have the qualifications and experience to make both simple but brave decisions. You also have equal, if not greater, responsibility to make the right choice for your representative for City Council Ward 12. You are therefore to choose who shall serve you. In the last couple months, I've been door knocking, talking to people, talking to families, and certain issues that have surfaced